Oh no, not again. Jim, what are you doing? Oh yeah, reluctantly I'm bringing you this video because I think there's some things you can learn from it. This was done on a takeoff. Now you may recall from flying at the maiden flight that this thing really bounces around on the grass. Very short wheelbase from front to back. And earlier on, like on this particular flight here, I've just stayed on the grass, but it's taken the entire length of the field to get up in the air. And so I thought, well, instead of staying on the grass, I'd start on the grass, but line up with a runway, and then get it up in the air on the concrete. Well, that was a nice idea, but when I hit the edge of the concrete, it took a bit of a bounce and popped its nose up into the air and stalled and spun around, and yeah. So this is the aftermath. This is what I ended up with. Quite a mess. But nonetheless, we did get it fixed, and we want to show you how. So we're going to show you some still photos and make a commentary along the way. Essentially, we got all the pieces to line up and to see how they go. I used Gorilla Glue and a lot of clamps and ropes and rubber bands and various things to get things held in place. And used a lot of baking paper where it was needed. We taped joins where we put pieces together, and the idea of the tape is to keep the glue to be forced inside of the brake itself and to have a denser sort of foam when it expands. Got some bits that were totally not totally missing, but kind of chewed up. And so I found the pieces, and yes, we straightened them out the best we could, glued them together, and got those pieces in place. Made use of various methods to hold them where they needed to be. And the elevator, we got that together. Wingtip, I had some damage there where it sort of spun around and hit the ground and whatever. So with that, we used a bit of Gorilla Glue to put the missile rack on the outside, but also to fill in some of the damage on the surface of the wing there. As we put together the fuselage, we had a bit of a misalignment that happened here, and that was something that was just really hard to get those pieces where the thing is bent in half. Pieces aren't straight, and that makes it difficult. So we had to get that sorted out. But all in all, got things taped together. Magnets had popped out. We glued those in place, put some tape over them. This is how the side ended up after putting the glue in there on that one side where it was really mangled badly. So we got started with that, and the initial sort of glue was to just sort of get it all together. But then afterwards, we taped up along the side of that and filled in some more glue. And I might mention we did notice the misalignment while the glue was drying, and so we did some bracing in there to straighten it up the best that we could. Few scrapes here and there to fix up, but now we got the tape off and the baking paper off and things like that, and so we're able to examine how things are looking. And yes, things are still pretty rough at this stage. There's still some more things to fill in with glue. We use the Gorilla Glue with a bit of tape over it, but nonetheless the pieces are coming together. So we utilized sandpaper and hobby knives and even a vibrating saw type tool to clean up the glue where it had oozed out, and got everything to where it was all pretty nice again. Here in this corner there was a crack going down through there, so I ran a skewer down into the crack to get glue into it, and then another skewer coming in from the side to go across it and reinforce that area. Looking down inside, we've got all of the cables out of the way to where they're not going to be bothering with things. There's that vibrating tool to clean things up. And in some cases had to sort of pry things open to get the glue in there, but then get the glue in and tape it up. Here's where we added the glue onto the side and that big gap. And so we put the tape on the two sides first. We put what we felt was about the right amount of glue in there, wetting all the sides and having a little bit extra in the middle, and then putting the tape over the top to allow that to fill in. Now, we did have an issue with the elevator. Yeah, they're totally loose on one side, and the other side quite a bit of slop in it. And so we recognize that's not very good. And we're wondering even if some of that damage was from a previous issue and that we hadn't noticed it. Certainly the elevator would go up and down with the controls, but we hadn't really checked to see how bad it was in terms of slop. Vertical fin had a break in it, so we pushed that open, worked glue into the cracks, and then put tape over top of it. And that seemed to do well there. Okay, here we're getting inside of the elevator and looking at the various parts that we've got there. And essentially there is a control arm that's supposed to be attached to that shaft that works the elevator. And as you can see here, we got a break in it. So we bought some replacement parts for that. Sanded up the various bits as we mentioned to get everything looking much better, and it was multiple iterations of filling in more glue and eventually some lightweight filler. Had these little things on the side to glue back on, and I hadn't noticed before this repair, but there's actually a slot that goes up the side of the fuselage through there. Here's where we added some more to the filler. Had to do a variety of things to support things as we're doing the repairs. The nose gear had pushed back with the support that goes behind the nose gear, had pushed back through the bottom of the foam, and so I had to glue that back in place. On these elevators, very nice setup. They've got a couple of bearings that it pivots on and a little arm. I fixed the one over here. It had a broken little control arm, so through here. Now that's pretty firm. This one was really sloppy on this side, and so I pulled it off, and just looking at it, it looks like there is a bit of a crack there, but I don't know that it's moving much on the control arm. I think it's more moving the entire shaft. So I'm going to investigate that. But with the new control arms that I got the kit that also includes this piece here. Okay, so I think most likely I'm going to replace that and just make sure that everything is tight, because I don't want to have that slop in there. And there goes my bearing. In taking off the outside bearing, I can get a hold of the shaft itself, and that shaft is not moving. It's nice and tight. So it's moving here. It's just a little bit of slop in this, and as I got that crack in there, that's getting replaced. Okay, so we've got it assembled back together again, a little double saddle thing over the bearings, and now it's nice and snug, same as this one. So no slop or anything to flop around. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if that was a contributing factor to the previous accident. So now we're just going to put these covers back on. We'll just put a couple dots of glue there, tape it in place, let the glue set. And then tomorrow we'll test it out and we'll fly it at the field. With these hatch covers, I've just simply used some clear Gorilla Glue, this stuff here. I've just put 3 dots across the top and a dot down in the bottom corners, and then I've just used a bit of foam and some tape just simply to hold it in place. They set pretty well in place anyhow, so it'd probably be all right. And with, like say with the Bob Smith glue, I think it can work like a contact cement to where you could, come back and press it back together. But anyway, I've just taped everything to hold it in place and just let it cure. Oh, and with the Gorilla Glue, I put the dots of glue on here, but then on that piece that's going to go on there, you spray it with a light spray of water. Just a very fine mist of water, because it is water cured type stuff, and then stick it on there. Well, she's all set to go, and she really looks the part. Yeah, fabulous. Very happy with this. Well, the repair is done. Very pleased with the outcome, and good to have you along to watch and see what we do with these things. But yeah, pleased with the outcome, and now all set to have our test flight. If you haven't yet subscribed, click that little circle to the left and have a look at also at some of our videos there with a link on the right. I'm RC Jim signing off. You have a great day and enjoy your flying.